It all started when Elliot Grayson, a 24-year-old freelance programmer, stumbled upon a discussion thread on an obscure tech forum. A user named Null Operator mentioned something chilling. Ever heard of a red room that finds you first? Elliot wasn't new to the dark web. He'd explored it out of curiosity before, but had always been careful. He used VPNs, encrypted browsers, and never clicked on suspicious links. But this thread felt different. The replies were filled with warnings. Don't engage, don't respond. If you get an invitation, it's already too late. That night, as he was about to close his laptop, a new message popped up in his encrypted inbox. You've been chosen. 24 hours. Attached was a link. No sender. No traceable source. Elliot's chest tightened. He hadn't signed up for anything. How did they get his email? Out of paranoia, he powered off his laptop, took out the battery, and shoved it under his bed. But the nightmare had already begun. The next morning, Elliot woke up to his phone buzzing. Unknown caller. He hesitated before answering. A distorted voice whispered, "We're watching." Then, the call ended. His blood ran cold. He checked his webcam still covered, his phone camera disabled. But, as he reached for his laptop, a single notification flickered on the screen. Your session begins in 12 hours. Declining is not an option. Elliot felt like he couldn't breathe. He hadn't clicked the link. He hadn't responded. Yet, whoever was behind this knew where he was. As panic set in, he noticed something in his apartment window. Across the street, parked in the shadows, was a black SUV. Tinted windows, engine idling. Someone was watching. Sa dim. As the countdown reached 0, Elliot's laptop powered itself on. The screen went black, then red. A loading symbol spun, then a live feed appeared. A woman strapped to a chair, blindfolded, crying. A chat box popped up beside the video. Moderator, welcome as Elliot. You are our newest participant. User 32, choose wisely. User 78, if you leave, we come to you next. His hands trembled as a prompt appeared. Decide her fate, release or suffer. Elliot's mind screamed at him to shut the laptop, to run, to do anything but engage. Then, the woman spoke. Through the blindfold, she turned slightly as if sensing him. Elliot, please. His heart stopped. How did she know his name? And then, the screen flickered, showing his apartment hallway. Live footage from inside his own home. He wasn't alone. Elliot never remembered clicking anything. The next thing he knew, he woke up in a hospital, restrained to a bed. His head throbbed, his vision blurred. A nurse leaned over him. You're lucky. The neighbors called about screaming. Screaming? The last thing he recalled was the laptop, the live feed, and then nothing. The police later found his apartment ransacked. His laptop was gone. But on the cracked screen of his phone was a final message. You played, now you belong to us. Elliot left town that same week, but deep down, he knew the truth. The dark web wasn't just a myth. And once it finds you, it never lets go. Miles Holloway, a 26-year-old night security guard, had always been fascinated by urban legends about the dark web, but he never took them seriously until one night he made a mistake. Bored during his shift, he browsed a thread about the forbidden chat room. The rules were simple. Never type your real name. Never ask for an exit. Never ignore a direct message. Most people claimed it was just a rumor, an old deep web relic that no longer existed. But one comment caught his eye. It's still there, and it already knows you. A link followed. No upvotes, no replies. Miles smirked. Probably some hacker messing with people, but curiosity won. He clicked. The screen turned black. Then, slowly, a red chat box appeared. Welcome, Miles. He felt his stomach drop. He hadn't typed his name. A message popped up. Moderator, would you like to see something special? Before he could react, a live video feed flickered on. It was his apartment, his bedroom. The camera panned slightly. Someone was inside. His breath hitched as a second message appeared. Moderator, say hello to our guest. Miles grabbed his phone, dialing 911. But before it could ring, another message appeared. Oh, moderator. If you call, they won't leave. The figure in the video moved toward his closet. Miles's heart pounded as he saw something glint in their hand, a knife. Moderator, should we wake them up? Type yes or no. His fingers trembled. This wasn't possible. How were they inside? He frantically typed, "Who are you?" The response came instantly. Moderator, we are the ones who watch, and now you watch too. Then the screen glitched. The video feed shifted to something worse. It was another apartment, someone else's home, a woman sleeping on a couch. A timestamp flickered in the corner. Live. A new message popped up. Moderator, your turn, choose how this ends. Two options appeared, wake her up or let her sleep. Miles's body went numb. Was this real? Before he could type, the woman stirred. The figure in her room, just like the one in his, crept closer. Her phone buzzed on the table. She reached for it. But before she could answer, a shadow lunged at her. The screen cut to black. Miles slammed his laptop shut, heart racing. But before he could breathe, his phone vibrated. One new message. You didn't choose. So next time, we choose for you. Miles left work early, rushing home. He locked every door, every window. His apartment was empty, no sign of anyone. Maybe it was all a sick game, a hacker playing mind tricks. But as he turned to his desk, he saw something that made his blood run cold. His laptop was open, and on the screen was a live feed of himself. Behind him, a figure moved in the darkness. The last thing he heard was the sound of his closet door creaking open. August Monroe wasn't a hacker. He wasn't even tech-savvy. He was just a regular guy working a dull 9-to-5 job at a shipping warehouse in Ohio. The most exciting part of his day was deciding whether to order Chinese or pizza for dinner. That all changed when he found the package. It was late. His coworkers had already clocked out, leaving him alone to close up. As he scanned the last few boxes, he noticed one sitting on the edge of the loading dock. No shipping label, no tracking number, just a plain black box wrapped in thick plastic. August frowned. Strange. Every package in the warehouse had a record, but this one, it wasn't on the system. Curiosity gnawed at him. Maybe it was an error. Maybe someone forgot to scan it. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be here at all. His stomach twisted as he peeled back the plastic. Inside was a small old laptop. No brand, no markings, just a single post-it note stuck to the screen. For you. August hesitated before pressing the power button. The screen flickered, then displayed a black terminal window with a single blinking cursor. Then, text began to appear on its own. Hello, August. His breath hitched. You are now part of the exchange. The rules are simple. More lines filled the screen. You must watch. You must not look away. You must choose. Before he could react, a video feed popped up. A dimly lit room. A single chair. Someone was sitting there. A man, gagged, blindfolded, trembling. The screen flickered again, another message. You have 60 seconds to decide. Two options appeared. Free him. Continue. August's pulse pounded in his ears. He slammed the laptop shut. This was a joke, some sick prank. He needed to get out of here. But before he could take a step, his phone vibrated. An unknown caller. Shaking, he answered. A voice distorted, mechanical whispered, You opened it, now you play. Then, from the laptop speakers, the man in the chair began to scream. August ran. He didn't stop until he reached his car, throwing the laptop into the back seat. He needed to think. He needed to breathe. But as he pulled out of the parking lot, something flashed in his rearview mirror. A van, blacked out windows, following him. His hands tightened on the wheel. Was this connected? Then, his phone rang again. He didn't want to answer. but something in his gut told him he had to. With a trembling hand, he picked up. A new voice this time, a woman. Calm, flat. "Don't go home, August." His chest tightened. They're already there. August's mind raced. This wasn't happening. It couldn't be real. But as he turned onto his street, his blood turned to ice. His front door was open. The van, gone. The laptop screen in the back seat, still on. And on it, a live feed of his living room. Someone was inside, waiting. Then, the screen glitched. One final message appeared. "Welcome home, August." The call cut out, and from the darkness of his house, a voice whispered his name.